I'm audible. What if I just left it right there? hmm Yeah. I killed that man. No.
Stabbed him.
Yeah, welcome to the new arc.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Didn't specify.
I thought I did. I may have forgotten.
There you go. Audible.
All right, we good?
And image is fixed.
Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to D&D&D&D&D campaign number 2 of Black Ink and Blue Blood. When we last left off, the party successfully infiltrated the Foxfire Network towers, scaling their way up to the top and making their way to the central network room. As Caleb, Cato, Zephyr, Lucian, Gil, Raccoon, and... Did I miss anyone but Neon? The party fought off the Peacekeeper patrol who came to intercept them, the Peacekeepers not knowing the extent of the threat that the party is protecting them from. Neon, meanwhile, as the party defends him, is battling Dr. Empire Coulomb in cyberspace, dueling the mad scientist for control of the digital sphere as Neon attempts to lock the hacker out of Edict's network, which would preserve all the lives of the people of Edict and restore peace to the threatened city, while the people themselves are blissfully unaware. With that, when we last left off, Neon, you are currently doing well in your battle against Coulomb, but Coulomb seems intent on not playing around with you anymore. And Caro lays bleeding out on the ground as one of the Peacekeepers struck the Lovelander down. 2 Peacekeepers remain to threaten the party, while Neon must continue to hack against Dr. Coulomb. When we last left off, we were mid-battle. Neon, as the battle resumes, let's have another roll and have the first of this session hack off against Coulomb.
Hack his arm off.
There's
That'll be a
actually
19.
one.
You're cutting out. For me.
Yeah, no, it's for me as well. All right, what'd you get for your hacking roll, Neon?
That's a 19.
All right, you control the digital sphere for this turn. There's currently 65 feet of difficult terrain between you and Coulomb. Coulomb managed to get through your firewall with the fire immunity he granted himself via his adaption ability. What change would you like to make to the battlefield while you control it?
Cool. Once again, I'm going to make us 180 feet apart.
Okay.
So can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, much better.
I was saying, there's only one route they can get. We can get.
You're cutting out
Yeah.
again, but
But we got the gist though.
Yeah.
Uh,
There's only one route we can get to them, and they can get to us.
mm-hmm.
What is even the point of spending money on headphones?
Yeah, I know that feel. I usually get the cheap ones because it's just easier to replace them once they inevitably break.
Like, just like.
All right, so
God
Neon.
fucking damn it!
Neon, you.
Fucking work, you piece of shit.
Well, it's working now. You control the battlefield. Coulomb is 180 feet of difficult terrain away from you. Top of the round. Gil, you're up. Caleb on deck.
Okay, so I would like to use my full 40-foot movement to get as close to these guys as I can.
All right. Are you willing to fly over the pit?
I am.
All right.
You'll be 25 feet away.
How far is that to the next person?
The nearest Peacekeeper is 25 feet away from you.
Yeah.
Then I will action dash and make it over there to him.
Okay.
You're gonna get next to him, or like, how you know, or I'm assuming you're gonna push him or pull him.
Like, yeah, I'm gonna say I'm gonna pull him and like over the shoulder, toss him into the pit.
You're gonna grab him.
All right. Well, okay. I'll say if you want to get next to him, you can grapple him, but you'll have to wait till your next turn to get over the pit and drop him. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
Use your action already.
All right. Grapple contest.
Oh wait. Oh.
And that's
You don't grab-
correct.
Or did you do a grapple
Or is it
contest?
athletics?
You have to use athletics. The Peacekeeper can use acrobatics if he prefers.
But you did a grapple contest.
21.
All right. You successfully grapple him. All right. Is that the end of your turn?
Yes.
Okay. Caleb, you're up. Lucian on deck. If your mic's having any problems, you can just put in text what you want to do.
Is it having a problem?
Nope, you sound good. What would you like to do?
Good.
Yeah, you're good.
For now.
You sure it's good? I'm trying to stall this out to make sure it's not going to start cutting out once I start talking a lot.
I'm sure that's what's going to end up happening, but you sound perfectly smooth right now.
Yeah, so far there's no
Okay. So Caleb is going to... He's going to use his bonus action dash to get
All right.
over here next to Lucian.
Okay.
And he's going to look over to Lucian. It's her
Mhm.
turn next, right?
Yeah, Lucian's on deck after you.
He's going to look to Lucian like, I need help. As he's bleeding profusely.
All right. Caleb, you Caleb, you kind of run, shoulder your way past Zephyr and Neon, and come around the central network column. And Lucian, you see a heavily bleeding and crying Caleb, who needs your assistance.
Out of character, it's definitely crocodile tears.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Is that it for you, Caleb?
That's really all I can do this turn until I get healed, and then I can start making my way around.
All right. Lucian, you're up. Coulomb's after you, but Zephyr, you are the next player on deck. So, Lucian, what would you like to do?
Can't measure. Please get the range of 30 feet around me because to
Something about a range of 30 feet.
Everyone, Gil is 35 feet away from you, but everyone else is within 30 feet of you.
I'm assuming she's
All
gonna
right.
do prayer of healing.
just kind of
so-
be like,
You could just scoot over 5 feet.
Yeah, you could move.
well, if I scoot over 5 feet, would it
Yeah,
leave
well,
on
you-
ground?
Yeah,
or-
if you scoot over 5 feet, everyone will be within 30 feet of you.
you can do your prayer of healing.
I will. Yeah. Kind of wipe a tear off of Caleb's cheek and just smile down and grab her place and start muttering a prayer of healing.
All right.
But 30 feet of
Up
little
to
kid.
up to 6 people to 30 feet. You can get everyone except for
19 health.
you can give
All
everyone.
right.
So everybody gets
4, 5, 6.
Right. Neon should be
19.
good, so you don't have
Yeah.
to pick him.
19.
Lucian, you step out from the safety of the cover of the network column, wipe a tear from Caleb's face, grasp Caro's unconscious hand, and start muttering a prayer to Jiva. And all of you feel a warmth begin to surge through your body as everyone who is injured heals for 19 health. Caro, on the ground, you suddenly come back to consciousness as the worst of your chest wounds begin to close. Caro, you are now stable and conscious.
Well, I killed myself.
Well, I guess Shiva's better than Arachne. She actually answers.
So
Accidentally
that's
killed
all I
myself.
can do. So I'll just make sure that everybody is healed.
Yeah.
Okay.
6, right? So.
Lucian, Caleb's wounds appear much better, and Caro is no longer actively dying.
It's part of the problem is Caleb wears like a lot of white, so he's probably got a lot of like obvious blood on his clothes now.
Oh, absolutely, he does. All right. It is now the Cybernaut's turn, who is getting a little irritated at Neon's game of Keep Away.
Eat butt.
Eat butt.
Eat
butt.
ass.
You
Hang
noob.
on. What is it like? Something fast, eat ass.
Skate fast, eat ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. This Keep Away strategy's working because you're keeping out of the range of all of his attacks.
Yeah, for someone who's so smart, he really didn't think this through.
Does Neon actually say that? Because that'd be pretty
No.
funny.
No, not yet. I'll save it.
Hey,
All right. I mean, yeah, he doesn't really have a lot of alternatives. He's just going to dash to try and get to you. But with the difficult terrain, that only gets him to 150 feet.
he's probably getting like, is he getting like flustered at this point?
Well, yeah, no, we saw earlier that he was already starting to lose his composure. And he kind of...
lagging.
Yeah, and Neon, you kind of see him, even with a dash, he's still 150 feet away from you, kind of skid to a stop, and like clench his fists. And you can see any smug pride, like any like mutual exchange of like, hey, we're both geniuses, and we're on an equal playing field, has been replaced with just very obvious irritation and anger.
Somebody really doesn't like losing. Yeah. Next
all
time
right.
he shoot me as a tiny penis.
I mean, that's going to be the end of his turn for now.
For now.
Raccoon, feeling a little bit better after that prayer of healing, is going to skate around the side here and take a shot at the Peacekeeper who is not currently being grappled by the Barbarian via the laser pistol. I believe they are within range for it to not be a disadvantage. Yep, so.
That was very hopeful of me to actually check how far that gap is.
Well, if you kind of come in at an angle, I saw over here, you can get like maybe like 15. I've been checking.
Caleb can jump like 9 feet.
Oh yeah, I forgot you have.
All right. Raccoon hits one of the Peacekeepers for 16 radiant damage. This attack was aimed at the engineer. So engineer takes 16 points of radiant damage.
Yeah, I did a bunch of research on long jump. I was like, is it based off of strength or maybe something I can actually use? And then I was like, it's based off of strength. And then I was like, so he has like 10 feet.
Is it? I thought it was off your strength or just straight up.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And as a bonus action, Raccoon is going to give Bardic Inspiration to Caro. Caro, as you kind of regain consciousness, you can see Raccoon dart up behind Lucian with their laser pistol, successfully shoot at the engineer, and as they duck and cover, they look at you and just, come on, show them who's boss!
Yeah.
That's it for Raccoon. It is now the Peacekeeper's turn, and then it's going to be your go. Zephyr.
Zephyr?
Zephyr.
Zephyr?
Zephyr.
Great. And now he's French.
French Zephyr. I walk away.
Better than what was it? Force tag?
The demolitions is going to pull free their ionic axe and basically just do a set of all or nothing strikes on Gil. Engineer is going to give him leadership on this. Gil, as a quick side note, what's your AC right now?
21.
Okay. And then add a D4. All right, that's a hit with the first one. And then a hit with the second. Gil, as the demolitions pulls free their ionic axe, they place a hand on your shoulder as you hold them tightly to your chest to get ready to pull them over the side, pull free their ionic axe, and if I'm going down, I'm taking you with me. And they just lay into you with their axe and deal.
Good luck.
You say that. Last time you did that, you died.
And Lucian can't get me.
Oh yeah, we're
8 slashing. 8 slashing from the first, 7 with the second.
So, how do you want to roll that with, because his rage was still in effect.
Did you attack anyone last turn?
Oh. Well, I didn't do any damage.
Yeah, you have to deal or receive damage before your next turn for rage to still be in effect.
Oh well, I got 1 rage left.
Yeah, so 8 and 7
15,
slashing.
Got it.
And the engineer. The engineer pulls free their ionic axe and just, I got your back, brother, and is going to charge in. The demolitions is going to give him leadership, and he's also going to take 2 swings at you.
They get that leadership as a bonus action or reaction?
It's a reaction. They give each other reactions, so now they can't attack us if we walk away from them.
But it basically buffs their attacks against you.
Yeah. Fair enough, actually.
All right, hit on the first. Boy, that was a slidey one. The dice just sat there and rolled for 8 minutes.
That's just 8 minutes of my life.
That's a miss on the second, though, even with leadership. From the engineer's swing, he's a little bit weaker and less skilled with it than his comrade, you take 9 slashing damage.
Not bad.
Let me go ahead and move his token appropriately.
Hey, Matthew, if you use bonus action dash, can you take action dash, or is that use dash?
Yeah, you can take action dash. Rogues tend to be very fast because of that.
Okay, so I can go
90 feet. Yeah, 90 feet.
Yeah, 90 feet's where you clock if you dash and then bonus action dash.
Now, could you do something like this? Sideways? That should just save you.
With that is the end of the Peacekeeper's turn. Zephyr, you're up. Neon and Caro on deck.
Can you do this?
Let me look at the terrain. Yeah, you can do that.
You get a little further.
That shaves a little bit off.
But yeah, so Zephyr, what do you want to do?
Zephyr's gonna do the ultimate move. He's gonna do nothing. He's gonna dodge. Take the action.
All right, Zephyr takes the dodge action. Uh, Neon, you want to take your turn before Karos as per the norm?
Si, senor.
All right, Neon. Coulomb is 150 feet of difficult terrain away from you, and he took his action to dash.
All right. 150, you said?
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm going to shoot him with my big gun, my big cannon gun.
All right, roll to hit him with your big gun.
My big giant huge gun.
The gun show.
Because the court
Welcome to
should
the
not
gun
compensated
show.
for anything.
Boom, boom.
So,
He's a fuck.
11 plus 6, so 17. Yeah, 17.
That's a hit. Roll for damage.
Oh yeah, baby. Let me see how much it is. I think it's like 2.
I'm curious.
Yeah, it's 2d8 plus 4.
Since Coulomb gave him his
2.
mech, does that mean the mech is now in the gauntlet now, not in the system?
Wow.
Yeah, that's actually been established. If Morgan gets destroyed here, Morgan's just gone.
I know, but since Coulomb gave it him, is it now in the gauntlet, no longer in the system? Mm-hmm.
Well, if it's in the gauntlet, it would be in the system, because that's where it goes.
Okay.
Yeah, the gauntlet doesn't have its own storage.
4 plus 4.
So 8.
So, yeah, 8.
What kind of damage is this?
It's piercing, I believe.
All right, he does not have immunity to that, so 8 piercing straight up.
Hell yeah, baby. Oh yeah, baby.
Maybe Neon should invest in some internal storage on his gauntlet.
Maybe you should invest in a zipper.
Interesting.
Interesting.
So you can
Neon,
fuck him out, what?
as you level your gun, you fire at the faraway scientist, who, as per the norm, vanishes in a pile of smoke. Your shots are accurate, trained by the Peacekeepers. And when the smoke clears, you see your shot did land, and it's actually starting to have an interesting effect on his cybernaut. In the actual, like, what you're doing hacking-wise, at this point, you're striking Coulomb directly. You have essentially started DDoSing Coulomb himself to make it harder for him to counter you. And as a result, his connection to you is getting worse and worse. You watch as Coulomb's cybernaut starts to become a lot more simplistic. The design becomes a lot less smooth and grand, a lot more angular and simple, as you essentially reduce him to a 64-bit avatar.
Exports you as a JPEG and turns the quality way down.
Yeah, you've essentially compressed him.
He's just
I
trying to
love-
compress the file so I can get through.
He's turned into like an NES avatar.
This
Yeah,
is
no,
great.
it'll
I'm
probably-
loving this.
It'll probably get to that point if this keeps up.
He can't communicate through speech anymore. He just does it through like beeps and boops.
Yeah, like fuck the Friday Night Funkin' guy.
No,
Yeah.
like, it's like R2D2.
Neon, is that the end of your turn?
Yeah.
I just imagine that's
Oh.
the sound he's gonna make when Neon destroys his cybernaut.
Wait, no, I moved backwards 30 feet again.
Okay.
I'm just sitting here. I was actually thinking about this earlier. I was like, I really hope that when Neon locks Coulomb out, that he turns to my brother and just say, "I really hate those people," or something along those lines.
Well, we'll never know.
I mean, just rage.
We'll
quit.
never know. Just
So,
rage.
like, Neon keeps doing this extended distance thing, and Coulomb just rage quits. He's like, you know what? You can have it.
I can't
Yeah.
lose. I can't be beaten if I quit.
I'm exporting a world generation exploit.
All right. Caro, you're up. You just came back to consciousness from a near-death experience. You are prone, and the catwalk around you is burning. But you do still have connection to the rest of the group. Gil is currently grappling one of the remaining 2 Peacekeepers, and they're both just like wildly swinging at him. They're getting onto the battle map.
Here they were thinking they'd get to sit it out.
I'll shoot at the one that Gil isn't grappling.
All right, roll to hit.
Pew, pew.
That was a nat 20.
That is a hit. Roll for damage.
You hit him real hard.
Carol's
Eh.
fucking pissed.
They succeed the con save though, so no poison.
Pew.
That's okay.
That's Kara shooting them.
Yeah, that your little frog ringtone is Caro's ribbit.
Yeah, the tiniest rib.
I like to imagine Caro's just doing the like that like angry frogs do.
18 damage.
18 total.
I don't
Yes.
think Kara's the right kind of frog for that.
I need to find angry frog.
Yeah,
All
that's
right,
a desert rain frog.
Caro,
You're
you
not
are.
frog. Sorry.
Real quick, Caro, do you stay prone or no?
Oh yeah, you're prone.
Oh yeah, it's a... Wait, can I shoot while I'm prone?
You will have disadvantage, but it's only 15 feet of your movement to stand up, so you can just stand up and shoot.
Yeah, I was just gonna stand up then.
Okay, Caro, you stand up, and you're angry. Your little throat sac is bulging, and you quickly draw your crossbow to bear and fire, and it sails through the air. And Gil, you actually feel it whiz past you before it sinks into the chest of the engineer, who kind of visibly gasps and steps back in shock. They had been so caught up in attacking you to protect their friend that they had completely forgotten about the rest of the enemies nearby. Caro, do you want to fire again?
Yep.
All right, Caro, you
Frog.
quickly reload your crossbow, still ribbiting angrily, and bring your crossbow to bear for another shot.
21.
That's a hit. And they fail the con save this time.
Poison.
There's angry frog.
11 regular damage. Yeah, 3 poison.
I'm only asking to clarify because I don't want to be presumptuous and screw up narrative. Are you shooting to kill?
Kara doesn't really care.
Alright.
Kara
doesn't have a
Yeah, this
Kara
party
going
doesn't
on.
really care.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to check. Caro, you quickly reload another shot, and while he's like stumbling back and is like out in the open, you bring your crossbow to bear, fire another shot, and it shatters his visor, goes through his helmet, and pierces his skull, and he falls limp to the ground instantly. And the demolitions expert, the
Probably
final
gonna
remaining,
fall over the railing.
because the force would have knocked him backwards.
That's true.
And Caro and Gil, the demolitions expert who you're still grappling, looks to his fallen comrade and just, "No, Angie!"
So his perk didn't
What have
hit.
you done?
They killed the TF2 crew.
You killed him.
Everyone but the demo man.
Okay, Caleb freaking eviscerated the spy at the start of it.
So
You literally backstabbed the spy.
yeah, so his perk didn't go off.
Oh yeah, you know what? That is a good point. Actually, I'm so used to you guys knocking them over the fucking railing that I forgot totally. I'm so used to you guys doing that shit.
Explode, which is gonna kill the guy next to him.
Well, actually, no, Gil has
Well, I
him,
was
so...
gonna say, would it have gone off? Because a headshot, his nerves would have gone crazy.
Well, yeah, but your body still jolts when you get headshot.
Yeah, this board just flipped.
So I have to wonder would that have been enough to set it off.
All it says in the ability description is when the Peacekeeper dies, it explodes. So, Gil, roll me a dex save.
Okay.
The Peacekeeper succeeds theirs.
Well, actually, hold on.
It doesn't matter. He's gonna fall.
Hold on. You said it was a dex save.
It's a 10.
Okay, and real quick, Austin, you have something?
Okay, I just didn't know. Wasn't sure if they had, like, get disadvantage on, like, dex since they're being they're grappled.
Okay, alright.
I don't see anything.
Peacekeeper succeeds theirs. Gil, you fail yours. Gil, you take...
So now...
That's a lot of dice rolls.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
all that.
That's another one.
Gil, you take 33 fire damage.
Jesus Christ.
Ooh.
And the guy falls in the fight.
Drop.
Well, actually,
No,
this guy
because
still
Gil's
lives.
flying and Gil's grappling him.
Yeah, so Gil's holding on
Oh.
to him. Gil could let go and it
You're
would end the fight.
right.
But technically, yeah.
I
More.
Gil, as the engineer explodes, whoever put the shape there, thank you.
No problem.
The catwalk again just gives way as you continue to fly, holding the demo in place, who's definitely scorched by the explosion but still standing. And it's just glaring at you through their visor with fucking murder in their eyes.
So now this whole area here is now completely cut off from us.
Yeah.
Most of us, yeah.
Well, and that means like if any like reinforcements come through here, they're gonna not be able to get into melee range of us
hmm
They just have to
unless they
shoot
can
us.
jump.
But that means you guys can't get within melee range of them either.
Gil's the only one who can.
I like those odds.
like Kid Rods.
With that said, top of the round, Neon, hack off.
Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah, here we go, baby. Ah, fuck.
Oh no.
What you get?
I got a 6.
I'm not even shitting. You guys tied.
Oh,
I rolled a nat 1, and that's
I guess the, wait,
What is his-
if you roll a nat 1, then I win.
I'll allow that. It's because the total was the same, but yeah, I was actually going to rule it that you still get control anyway.
Like his superhuman
Neon,
ability.
what change would you like? What change would you like to make to the battlefield?
Interesting.
Can I like
Interesting.
replace the floor except for like the small area I'm standing on with like lava?
Absolutely, you can.
Cool, I'm gonna do exactly that thing.
Well, wait. Before you officially actually do that, you forget he has fire immunity.
Oh yeah, okay, acid, not lava, acid.
Okay.
Like-
Yeah, that's fair. I'll allow that.
It was a few seconds for Neon. It was a week for me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's totally fine. Don't worry. I'm not going to be cruel. Neon, thinking quickly, you start to change the battlefield, and as if blinking, the floor that was originally the difficult terrain you created gives way to just a like ocean of burning acid. As Coulomb's Cybernaut falls into it. And
What's gonna be your tech lingo version of that?
I'm going to be real with you. I have no fucking clue.
I pour acid on his real computer.
Okay, luckily there is a rule set for acid pits, surprisingly. So...
Totally similar to lava, just not as much damage.
Okay, you have created a 100-foot deep pit of acid. He doesn't take any falling damage because he just fell into it from where he was standing, but he will take 2d6 acid damage per round spent in contact with it.
Cool.
Matthew doesn't even know how to come up with a hacking term that would be equivalent to a pit of acid.
So, yeah.
Okay, you know what? Actually, no, I have something.
Python, you know?
Neon, at this point, you're actually starting to gain control of the network. Like, at this point, you control the network. You're just trying to keep Coulomb from, like, ever being able to access it again. So at this point, you're basically turning every machine in Edict into a proxy for your hacking. Like a virus, your control spreads all throughout the city, and you basically turn every machine to basically further your DDoS attack against Dr. Coulomb.
Start mining crypto.
Yeah, at this point, yes. You could use his computer to mine crypto for all the control you have.
Imagine how much crypto you can mine with the Foxfire network.
Right? All right. Gil, you're up.
Very funny that it's the Foxfire network and Neon is a fox.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That wasn't even intentional, but it worked out well. Gil, you're up. Caleb on deck.
Well, yeah.
So, since I have this guy floating in the air, I am going to 180. So he's now completely over the pit. I'm going to. He's got his axe out, correct?
Yes.
You try to take his
I want
axe.
to grab the axe with one hand and then just shove him away and let him fall. And say,
All right.
"Thank you for the axe."
Well, you're trying
All
to
right,
steal his
I
axe.
will. I will allow the dropping him, but let's roll to see if you can take the axe from him.
He already won a grapple check though.
Well, I mean,
Oh yeah, but at this point it's a disarm check.
yeah, that's
It's
it.
really a
What
different.
do I roll
I
for
didn't
that?
even know that was different.
Yeah.
I mean, where you basically you can grapple, you can grab his sword, but then what? Then he can technically.
Because all grappling does is prevent him from running away. But he was still able to attack Gil while he was grappled.
Yeah.
And is this another athletics check?
You make an attack roll, which he will then contest with athletics or acrobatics.
So I'm making just a regular attack roll, an unarmed strike.
If you're going to try and take his weapon, I'm going to call this an unarmed strike.
Okay,
Well, you were a monk.
24.
That succeeds. You grab the axe and just push him away from you, and the demolitions expert with a "Ah!" falls, presumably to his death.
Presumably.
Presumably.
Yeah.
Here's where we find out that they had jetpacks.
I feel like we would have seen them by now.
Is that the end of your turn, Gil?
At this point, because there's no more enemies that I can see, correct?
Yes, all the automatons and peacekeepers have been dealt with.
Then I'm gonna go to the nearest elevator and wait.
Just this one.
Okay. Are you willing to go to one that the party can't reach, or are you gonna
Yeah, I'm gonna go to one that the party can't.
reach?
Yeah,
That's way
Okay.
so I'll
That'd
go
be
to the
this
top, the northern one.
Okay. All right, Gil. As you watch him drop, you turn with your rocket boots and start flying towards the northern elevator, and wait for potentially more targets.
I still have another action, correct?
We have another.
I'm gonna say it was an interaction to do all that. However, that was an attack too. So you have another attack, but you used up your interaction and one of your attacks.
Okay, that's perfectly fine. I'm going to take the axe that I just took, and I want to try to break the panel, like the button that allows it to come up and down and stuff like that.
Okay.
I want to break it so the elevator's not function.
Okay. Make an attack roll.
And what with the axe?
You're proficient with battle axes, correct?
Correct.
And this is a +2 battle axe.
That's a natural 20.
Okay. Gil, you. Yeah, you know what? For flavor, given that it was a natural 20, I'll throw you a bone. You reel back with your axe, and Caleb, Caro, Lucian, you all can see Gil reel back with the ionic axe he just took from the demolitions expert. And he slices through not only the panel, but Gil, you yourself are actually surprised at how well this thing cuts with its plasma. You end up cutting through the paneling, through the door, and slice through the elevator cable on the other side. And as you kind of reel back in shock from how deep that cut from, a heavy swing, but you didn't expect it to go that deep, you can hear the cable snap and hear distant muffled screams as an elevator of Peacekeepers drops to their death.
There are more people coming.
But, so, originally, you were gonna be like, I don't see how. I'm guessing you were originally like, I don't see how we could break the elevator by hitting the panel.
Yeah, no. Yeah, originally, basically, I was going to say it could get stuck, and then that would mean it would take longer for the Peacekeepers to get up here. But given that he rolled a nat 20, and I was already thinking how cool it would be if he cut the elevator cable, I just said, fuck it.
Fuck it.
I mean, rule of cool, right?
I love it. Yeah.
Oh, that was great.
That was fucking neat. I love it.
And Gil, you kind of look at the axe in surprise. You'd used one on a Peacekeeper, but this is the first time you've tried it on metal, and you kind of almost like you kind of almost like twirl it, and it's like so lightweight in your hands. I will say, given that you rolled a nat 20 and you're kind of getting a feel for the weapon now, I will also throw you a bone with that nat 20 and say you now know that the Ionic Axe has the light and throne properties.
Ooh.
Noise. Oh, Neon.
Shit.
Oh wait, Neon's busy. I was gonna say,
Yeah, Gil, you kind of instinctively call out to show off to Neon, but then realize, oh, Neon's probably focusing. Okay.
like, Lucian, new toy.
Thumbs up.
Speaking of Lucian, Caleb, Lucian, you're both up. There's no enemies here, so I'm keeping the initiative going because more enemies may come. But for now, you guys have a turn where there's no enemies to assail you. Is there anything the two of you would like to do?
Look, I made a Christmas tree.
I'll let Caleb go first.
All right, Caleb, you have a turn where there's just no enemies. Is there anything you'd like to do?
Just in case.
All right.
As I'm going to try to repeat the thing before, where I'm going to try to surprise them when they come through the door.
All right, make a stealth check.
Okay. Caleb is good at that.
Okay.
And he gets advantage on them.
Mm-hmm.
Because of your brother.
Who he stole from.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brother
Second
Love.
roll. It's got to be a 27.
All right, noted. Caleb, you dart away from the central panel, cover behind the railing, and eventually slide into the position you had taken before, weapons at the ready to, again, second verse, same as the first. That scream you heard from the north side indicates to you that there are likely reinforcements coming, so you get ready for another ambush. Lucian, what would you like to do while you have a turn to yourself?
So I'm actually gonna get on the other. If I have to go around, that's fine. But I'd like to get on the other side of the gun.
What?
And just kind of hunker down there.
Neon?
I'm going
Yeah.
to use my last second level slot ability and give him Fox Cunning again.
All right. Lucian, you kind of gently make your way past Zephyr, around Neon, and then lay a hand on Neon's shoulder. And Neon, while you're not paying too much mind to your surroundings right now, although you have noticed it's gotten quieter, your ears kind of twitch as you feel a hand on your shoulder, but you feel the familiar warmth of Lucian and Jiva's guidance sail through you, and you feel that boost of intellect you had return to you.
Yeah, my brain grew 3 sizes that day.
Yeah.
I saw the plight that gamers face.
All right, that it for you, Lucian?
Please tell me.
Yeah.
What is
Oh, I got to do slash.
All right. Coulomb, who again at this point is reduced to a 64-bit avatar, he, to his credit, is now just shredding the water of the acid, but kind of glares at
the acid.
and just kind of glares at you in the fucking 180-foot distance, Neon. But to your discomfort, gives a wide grin. And
faster underwater or swimming?
I may not be able to hurt you, Neon, but I can hurt your friend. This is my world. And he holds up a hand and slams it into the acid like he's splashing at it, but you see the acid he touches turns red and begins to spread almost like it's infecting the acid pool you created. Caleb and Gil, both of you roll me dex saves.
Oh shit.
Oh boy. Is this how the barbarian goes down?
Dex saves.
Yeah, and a place that none of us can get to.
It'll be a 16.
Okay.
19.
All right.
And
16.
is
19.
this something I can see?
Nope. You don't even know this is about to happen. It just happens. Okay, I'm just double checking what his DC is. All right. Gil, what'd you roll again?
19.
All right, you both succeed. Okay. Caleb, you and Gil, who are just like in position, in Caleb's case, to ambush any oncoming enemies, and Gil just, again, kind of reeling from the shock of how powerful this axe is. You see the panels of the elevator begin to kind of heat, and you can feel the heat in your area starting to rise. And Caleb and Gil, the panels and computer parts closest to you overheat and detonate. However, you're both able to take cover as electricity surges around you, and you're like pummeled with melted plastic shards. And Neon, you can hear both of those blasts, but you didn't hear the indication of any Peacekeepers enter. And you just see Coulomb, just like every bit of acid he touches begins to float, almost like it's possessed by anti-gravity, and he starts to just like toy with the pieces, almost like as he's treading the acid you created, just playing the computers around him like an orchestra, like a sinister maestro. As you can hear Caleb and Gil's surprised yelps as they have to duck and cover as the computers nearest to them detonate and explode and spread sparks and shrapnel everywhere.
That disabled the elevators.
It does temporarily halt that one, but Gil's was already broken.
Okay, so this one's temporarily halted.
Yeah, basically the Peacekeepers could still crack open the emergency gate and ascend via the cable, but the elevator itself has stopped.
I'd imagine that they would probably only be able to come up one at a time at that point too.
Essentially, yeah, unless their movement speed was good enough to do otherwise. And on the left and rightmost sides, the elevators open to reveal two automatons from each stepping out. And let me grab the tokens that I need from the battle map. And all of you see the tower begin to turn red again. And as it does so, all of you can hear what to all of you is an unfamiliar voice, but Neon, you of course recognize the voice of the person you are currently trying to lock out of the system. As the automaton's eyes turn a familiar red and begin to glow with the monocle lightning sigil of Dr. Coulomb, the automatons and the speakers of the tower all begin to garble out in a glitchy, staticky, unfamiliar voice as he repeats what he said to you, Neon. This is my world. And four security automatons have entered the battle.
What a stinky.
Are you doing this because I threw the other ones off?
What, like me as the DM?
Yes.
No!
This was the plan from the start.
What, do you think they were just going to send one squad and that was going to be the end of it?
I hope.
Thought it was going to be a thing of like, by the time they could get another squad up, we'd be finished.
Basically, you guys have to keep Neon safe until Neon beats Coulomb. And Neon, you're realizing at this point, Coulomb at this point doesn't care if you lock him out. He's just determined that Gil is gonna fucking die here. Or at least he's gonna make some progress against the party. As you all hear the voice echo over the speakers. Forget your previous orders. Kill all. And the automatons are going to add themselves to the initiative.
So they roll doo-doo.
And so Coulomb used his turn to make that attack on Caleb and Gil as the cyber battle is now starting to affect the real world. However, that does end his turn, and he's still submerged in the acid. So, Neon, do you want to roll 2d6 acid, or do you want me to?
I'll do it. I'm good at rolling dice.
All right.
Damn it. 4.
All right, that 4 total?
Yeah.
Okay.
Down.
Hey, it's still damage. All right. Raccoon, kind of yelping as they see the automatons enter the fray, is going to run here to get some cover and fire a laser pistol at one of them. That is unfortunately a miss. Okay. Sorry, I was getting back down to the turn order. The automatons on the left are going to make their turn. Zephyr, you're up after this.
Mm.
The automatons kind of look around in curiosity, still having that red emblem of Coulomb taking over them directly. As, again, Neon, it seems like he's abandoned trying to out-hack you and is just determined to, like, take control of the battlefield before you lock him out of the system. As you, again, hear the voice over the speakers. Stay away from the railings. That's how they got the last ones. Stay back, keep your distance, and lay down suppressing fire. And both of these automatons are going to enter sentry mode. However, it is their action to put themselves in that mode. They can't fire it on the same turn. So these two automatons on the left enter sentry mode. The rotary cannons, which Gil, you recall as being the ones that like fired like countless bullets, more than you've seen Geogran firing lines put out. And both of them you see put up shields to protect themselves. However, that is the end of their turn. Zephyr, you're up. Neon and Caro up after the right automatons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now we have that to deal with.
Christmas tree.
Yeah, so Zephyr, what do you want to do?
I guess I have to go out what the best option here is. Guess I'm gonna, go over and like kind of just start popping off. Pop off over here, pop off. See how far I can get.
Okay.
I can get right next to them. Should I? No. I will get 70 feet, or I'll move. Actually, I'll move here, which will allow me to bonus action dash, and I will take the dodge action. And I'll hide.
Okay.
And I'll make sure that I'm gonna get behind the railing if I can do that.
Okay. Zephyr, you kind of leapfrog over Neon, keeping your cover low. As you can see, the other automatons trailing you. You throw up Whisper to shield yourself and slide into cover, ready to charge them if the opportunity arises. No Peacekeepers left, so I can take out that stat sheet. All right, the right automatons. The one on the left, as it turns and watches you go, Zephyr, you can hear Coulomb's voice. Cut off his progress! And the automaton brings its siege cannon to bear and fires it. Zephyr, make me a dex save.
Alrighty then, dex save. I can howie. 15.
That succeeds, actually.
Oh.
Just barely. You literally nailed exactly what you needed.
I rolled very poorly.
As the siege cannon comes to bear and fires at you, it sails and strikes the catwalk next to you, sending up fire and shrapnel. You have evasion, so if you succeed a save, you don't take damage, right?
As long as it's a dex save, and if it's like the whole like affected.
If you take you take half on a success. All right, so you don't take any damage. However, you are now in free fall.
Yeah.
You are not close enough to the edge to catch yourself. Zephyr, you bring Whisper to bear as you see the cannonball coming towards you, and that blocks the shrapnel and fire, but you do fall, and as you land on the floor below, do you have anything to prevent fall damage?
Oh. Wait, hold on.
Oh, no. I dropped my dice. There we go.
Oh no, I guess I'll have to use D&D Beyond.
You say that, but I also
I've been rolling like below half most of the time.
Okay.
I know, I'm just joking.
I re-rolled it and I got a 16 on that dex save. I forgot I have advantage.
Well, you still succeed, so.
I don't think so. I know I have 2. Let's see. Second story climb, which just lets me jump and move on the walls easily.
All right. And the falling damage actually wasn't that much, so. Zephyr, as you bring Whisper to bear to protect yourself, you realize you're in free fall and put Whisper up in the air. And while it doesn't Mary Poppins you, it does slow your descent enough to where you're only bruised by the fall. You take 3 bludgeoning damage in the fall.
Well, Zephyr's out of commission.
Is he like unconscious?
No, he can't get back up. He
Okay.
Back up.
And the other automaton is also going to enter sentry mode. And Gil, you see it's firmly looking at you. That is the end of the rightmost automaton's turns. Neon, Coulomb, at this point, seems like he's not even engaging you directly now. He's just focused on dealing with the party outside in the real world. He is 180 feet away from you with a pool of acid between the two of you, you standing on the only safe area.
Well, I'm going to shoot him with my cannon again.
All right. Roll.
Did you roll for control of the battlefield?
It's not top of the round yet.
Yeah. 13 plus 6, 19.
That is a hit. Roll for damage.
2d8 plus 4. Okay, much better this time.
Knock him out.
8 plus 4, 12.
All right. Nice.
I hope it splashes acid into his eyeballs.
For
eyeballs.
For funsies, let me. Yeah. Neon,
Specialize.
as the smoke clears from this one, you see your DDoS attack is getting very effective. At this point, he is indeed reduced to an 8-bit avatar.
Is he almost? Does that mean he's very close?
Yeah, he's at. I'll say he's at a third of his health.
Oh my.
How much lower does it get from 8-bit?
He's still functional.
That is true.
Basically, it's going to go from 8-bit to bootleg when he's on his last legs.
What does that mean, bootleg in this?
Basically, it's like a glitchy, barely functioning mess.
8-bit to boot-bit.
Yeah, boot bit. That the end of your turn, Neon?
Yeah.
All right, Caro, you're up. Gil on deck after the top of the round.
You should make the music 8-bit.
I would, but I don't have any music like that available.
Well, I guess I'll just shoot at one of them.
Any preference on which?
I'll shoot at the closer ones.
All right.
Or one of
All
them.
right.
Shoot 'em.
Caro taking cover. You bring your crossbow to bear and fire at the nearest automaton.
Dirty 20.
That's a hit. Roll for damage. They're immune to poison, so they don't have to roll against your poison, but they could still definitely take the rest of it.
It'll speed up the rolls a bit.
They're immune to poison?
Yeah, just straight up. They're immune to poison damage and are immune to the poison condition.
Really?
Oh yeah, I only did 4 damage this time,
I
unfortunately.
figured,
It's alright.
Yeah, I figured they had the same conditions as Warforges.
I can barely hear Austin.
Because I'm leaning back, I'm just like, relax.
I like those odds.
Alright, you want to go again, Kara? Or rather, do you want to shoot again? It sounds like there was people in their room, so I'll give them a minute. Neon, do you want to go and resolve the hack off while Kara resolves that? Since it's going to be after this anyway. Alright, hack off.
And I got advantage?
Yeah, because you have advantage on intelligence stuff.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if that gave me advantage or if that just increased my.
Yeah, advantage.
So I got a 14, then a 22.
All right, you actually would have tied with him perfectly if it wasn't for that advantage.
Nice.
Coulomb seems like he's about to take control of the system away from you, but you feel Lucian's hand on your shoulder and that boost to your intellect, and that manages to get you to just barely keep him locked out. Yeah, you got him on the back foot, but the battle's not over yet. Neon, what change would you like to make to the battlefield, if any?
That's a good question. I'm gonna be real. I'm trying to think of a way that I could what's another way that I can damage him on top of burning alive in acid?
Well, you can try to restrict him or somehow.
Well, he's not exactly moving.
Yeah, at this point he's given up trying to beat Neon and is just trying to take out the rest of you since he has more control over that.
The question is, what's the limitations of the chain? Could you
Yeah.
tie his hands?
Could I create a bomb above his head?
I would allow that if you want to do that.
Cool. I want to create a humongous, gigantic,
I was
massive,
gonna say
fucking
if you could
iconic
create an
bomb.
instant death pit below him.
That feels a bit lame in this case. I want something flashy and
All
cool.
right, for fun, Neon, because I'll actually I'm not going to spoil what does what, but what kind of bomb would you like it to be?
Remember, he's immune to fire.
Yeah.
And
dang
lightning.
it.
Stink bomb.
Yeah, stinky bomb. No,
Psychic
a
damage.
dirty bomb that leaks radiation all over his eyes.
You're really obsessed with stuff getting in his eyes right now.
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna cut out his eyes. His eyes belong to me now.
I thought it was gonna go for shrapnel or something.
Nah, dude, I'm too.
What,
cool
are
for that.
you gonna drop a
He's got to
nuke on
match
his
his
head?
boyfriend. He's got to match his
I already
boyfriend.
thought an interesting
I'm gonna-
idea. That
Dude,
you
Is
could
he gonna
Yeah.
drop a nuke on him?
I'm gonna use radiation to kill all his sperm.
All right, so do you actually want to make it a dirty bomb?
Yeah, that leaks radiation everywhere, all over him. Gets all over his bod.
Maybe it could be like putting a worm on his system that's like eroding his files.
I'm gonna put a worm in his ear.
I'm thinking of an idea already. That would be interesting.
Okay. So I actually do have a reference thing pulled up. So you do successfully create the bomb, but it's not going to go off immediately. Roll me a d4.
Oh, I see. Give me 1 second. For a 1.
You know, I was actually going to do... Okay, I'm going to be real with you. I'm just honest DM to player moment here.
What?
My plan was I was going to have you roll that d4, and that was going to determine how many rounds the bomb went off in. However, I was going to subtract 1 because of the acid that would, you know, I think realistically... I don't know much about missiles, but I feel like acid eating away at it would set it off quicker. So,
Oh my God.
you know what?
Too much.
With Lucian giving you advantage, you being creative and coming up with the dirty bomb idea, and rolling exactly what you needed to do this right now, I will let you have the bomb go off right now. Jacob, roll me 20 d8s.
What? Oh my gosh!
Jacob.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
I'm gonna
19,
do that on
20.
And I'm also gonna point out another reason I'm allowing this is ordinarily you would be caught in the blast, except because you're so far away from him, you're 30 feet outside of the blast radius. So you have positioned yourself perfectly to be completely outside of a nuke going off and drop it on his head and rolled exactly what you needed to have it go off instantly. So you know what? Yeah, you earned this. 20d8 damage, please.
How's 99 exactly sound?
Okay, and bear in mind, that didn't take into account the plus. So that's 99 base damage. With the plus to the damage, that is 249 magical bludgeoning damage.
Oh my god!
I mean,
Why
basically,
did you do this sooner?
I was like,
I don't know. I didn't think of it sooner.
it runs the question of how you want to do it, but then you kind of already did it.
Yeah,
I
completely
have only one
Connor.
reaction for this, guys. I have one reaction for this.
That's Neon as the bomb goes off. Neon, I'm so happy I get to say this. How do you want to do this?
I mean, there's really only one way to do it. I mean, it just explodes and kills him. I mean,
It just it just evaporates his avatar.
yeah, it's one of those sequences where it like shows him become like a silhouette and then just like dissipate.
Oh man, I'll have a scene. The link scene.
Matthew, I honestly want to hear your tech version of what he.
Oh no, I actually already thought of it. Neon, you have complete control of every machine in Edict at this point. You are DDoSing the shit out of Coulomb. His ping is getting worse by the second. As the fucking computers of Edict basically unite against him. The man who saved Morgan's life, but now is your enemy, with a final key press, you lock Coulomb out of the system completely as you basically, and I'm going to say,
blow up his computer with the DDoS attack.
don't beat me to it. And while you can't see it to know for sure, you DDoS him so heavily that his processor literally melts in real life.
I hope it was expensive.
You just
too.
not only locked him out of Foxburner, you might have just locked him out of computers for a while.
Yeah, and Neon, with all the setup you did with your control of the battlefield, you are completely outside of the blast, and you just watch. I like to imagine your digital avatar gets sunglasses as they watch a nuke go off in the distance.
Matthew. Cool guys don't look at explosions.
Yeah, Neon, do you want to be cool guys, don't look at explosions, or just put on sunglasses?
No, I want to put on sunglasses. I would like to look directly at it.
All right. And, Okay.
Holy shit.
And Neon, as the smoke clears, you just see if the pool of acid having to like fill in the crater you just created.
With like his two boots sitting there with like smoke fizzling out of them.
And you initially and all of you in the real world see the red lights just cut and the tower get plunged into darkness and the automatons just freeze in place. There's a tense pause. Neon, you just kind of watch as the computer is one of the only things that still has lights and power. And in the cyberspace, you see an 8-bit hand charred to a skeleton claw into the side of your platform. And as a burnt, skeletal, melting Coulomb head that's like glitching and like warping and teleporting constantly, as he tries to claw his way towards you, and you and Morgan just kind of step back. You hear him let out one final "No!" before he...
Here. Before it exploded, you should have had him say, "What the fuck?"
And
kick him off the side back into the acid.
Yeah, and you see, almost Mega Man style, his pixels scatter.
You win.
Yeah, you win.
I put in my fucking 3-letter nickname as Butt.
Yeah, if he controls the system, can he turn off the bomb?
Yeah, I was actually going to bring that up. Neon, with all of that you just did, you now control every machine in Edict, which I will say as a freebie, since obviously I don't want to be presumptuous, be like, oh, you didn't know a thing. You now completely control the automatons and can feed orders to the Peacekeepers.
Cool, Peacekeepers, kill yourselves.
You can like, at the very least, it would confuse them if you ordered them to arrest the commissioner.
That's actually what I was thinking of doing.
Neon, what color would you like the tower to be a light in as you take control of it?
Oh yeah, your
Ooh, I like
that.
this.
Your friend will be able to recognize it's you in there.
No, you know what? For a fucking personal motif, I'll make it a really fucking bright looking purple. Because bright purple's badass.
Okay. The Foxfire Tower, as the lights come back on, all of you in the real world have no idea what's happening in the digital space. You just see the lights go out and the machines freeze. And the lights come back on, but they are no longer the neutral blues of Edict or the gleaming red of Coulomb. They are a brilliant neon purple.
You see what he did there? It's neon, like neon.
He did it!
Neon, you now control all the bots, can feed orders to the Peacekeepers, and control every computer in the city.
I just reach over and I give him a hug.
Honestly, like, he should probably, like, go to the commissioner's computer and just publish all the files and incriminate him and say, arrest the commissioner.
Yeah, well, let's have this conversation in character. Neon, you're shaken out of your focus as you realize you've done it. Coulomb is not only out of the system, you've encrypted it so that he can't possibly come back. And as you finally start paying attention to your surroundings again, Lucian just picks you up in an enthusiastic embrace. And you see the tower is awash in your colors.
Well, that's a good sign.
I just squeeze them happily. You did.
Are we out of the initiative so we can move freely?
Yes, the battle is officially over because the automatons are completely in Neon's control. So unless Neon orders them, they're not going to attack anyone.
Okay, it's gonna be
open fire.
You did it, Neon. Now we just gotta get that commissioner guy, right?
That's true. Well, I have a few ideas.
Before we go anywhere, I need everybody to gather around to heal us a little bit.
Yeah.
fly down,
By
grab
the way,
Zephyr, and bring
yeah,
it back up to the top.
yeah, Caleb was gonna be like, Zephyr fell.
I was like, I wonder how long it would take I'll notice. I was like,
You get Zephyr still.
Already on it.
Thank you.
Yeah, Zephyr, you see Gil flying down. Do you wish to accept his assistance back up to the top floor?
Hold on, let me. Zephyr's gonna look in his little pouch. Like, can I not use him? Could I?
Yeah, if you want, I'll just help you up to the catwalk, and then you can walk the rest of the way.
Fair enough. Alright.
Pick him up. He picks him up by the scruff of his neck.
Yeah.
Gil, you gently.
I grab him by his tail.
Alright, yeah, Gil grabbing Zephyr by the tail.
Not really.
Okay. You gently hoist Zephyr 15 feet back up to the unbroken part of the catwalk and set him down. And the two of you walk back to the fucking victory party that's going on around the terminal.
Okay, now that I'm done hugging Neon, I'm gonna go hug Zephyr.
Zephyr refuses.
Zephyr did good.
Zephyr refuses.
Yeah, Lucian, as you go to hug him, Zephyr just kind of puts up his hands like,
No.
Honestly,
Just kinda-
Zephyr probably just pulls out a knife.
Well, he kinda has a knife. He has his.
Fair enough. You don't want to hug, I'm not going to hug you. I'm just really happy. Is everybody here?
yeah, everyone's gathered around the terminal at this point. Caro, do you join the party?
Yeah.
We already moved them.
Well, yeah, but I figured I'd confirm.
I'm going to clutch my Jiva emblem, and I'm going to say a prayer, and I'm going to channel divinity, where
I don't think that
everybody.
Heals, I don't think it heals everyone. I think it heals only one person.
It does. It says any creatures within 30 feet of you.
It also only heals up to half their HP, so I don't get anything.
Well,
Caleb wouldn't get anything either.
It's still nice.
Yeah.
I can do it twice.
Well, no, it heals up to half. Like, basically, you can't go higher than that. Like,
yeah, like basically, you can't heal them to more than half their max HP.
it's basically the Fortnite thing.
Either way, Gil could use it.
Yeah, and Caro can as well.
So I'll split it between Caro, Gil, and how's Raccoon look?
Yeah, let me see if it would do anything for Raccoon.
Maybe.
Because I actually have been keeping track of their health. No, they're over half as well. So, so you want just 15 Gil, 15 Caro?
Yeah.
All right, Caro and Gil, you both regain 15 hit points. But I will say for flavor, because again, Lucian's being nice here. Lucian, you, as you politely accept Zephyr's decline, you say a prayer. All of you feel that warm sensation as Jiva blesses all of you. And Caro and Gil, your wounds close a little bit further as the more actively wounded members of the party.
Look to Neon and be like, what was your plan to deal with the commissioner?
You're muted, Neon.
No, I was being interrupted. Sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. I just wanted to make sure you weren't like talking and didn't realize you were muted. Go ahead.
No, what was said? I was.
Caleb was asking what your plan to deal with the commissioner was.
Oh.
Because Neon said he had some plans for that.
Well, I have some ideas. Could always tell the robots to go walk into his office and paint him all over the walls, if you know what I mean. It'd be the simplest
That would
way.
definitely be effective. If you're actually wanting to do that, because I know how you are.
But a certain someone would rather go through the proper channels, so...
Well, speaking of proper channels, is this completely over? Well,
What do you mean?
What did you do in the computer? Basically, what did you actually accomplish?
Essentially, he can't log into our network anymore. He can make no connections going in or out.
Okay, so the program to kill everyone's still there.
Potentially, yes.
All right.
I'm sure now that he's kicked them out, it won't be too difficult to delete it.
Assuming it's stored on our network.
Yeah, and during this point, Gil is going to start looking for the leftover pieces of the Peacekeepers' bodies.
I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna take a short.
Okay.
Short rest.
Lucian, you lay with your back against the tower, and all of you are soaked with blood and sweat and gunpowder, but you have emerged
Anybody who
victorious.
wants it, I could cast prestidigitation on them and clean them up.
What does
Alright.
that do?
Basically, yeah, Lucian can use a spell to like basically clean you guys off from the blood and sweat and everything. Because again, it's like boiling in here.
Yeah, Caleb probably needs that. He wears white, so.
All right.
I'll say as like a little cute thing. Lucian observes that it's drenched in sweat and blood, and she kind of like brushes a curl away from his eyes and goes ahead and casts them.
All right.
I hope.
Yeah, and Caleb, as Lucian does this and cast their spell, you can actually see the sweat and blood on your clothes and face get kind of pulled away into this little ball before Lucian just kind of almost offhandedly throws it over the side.
Caleb look over the side and see the splats.
Yeah, Caleb, in a little moment of childishness, being that you're young, you lean over the side and watch with interest as the ball of your spilt blood and
I meant the other splats from our fight.
well, still, with a little bit of more morbid childish interest, you trace the ball and see that at the bottom of the pit are indeed many dead peacekeepers and automatons.
They went splat. Yeah, let me do it properly. They went splat. As he points, kind of laughing at it.
Zephyr and Caro, are there anything the two of you would like to do? Lucian seems intent to sit and catch their breath for a minute.
Sounds like longer than that, so.
Well, I don't know how long we're gonna be here.
Yeah, they're saying taking a short rest so that if Neon does anything that takes a hot sec, then they can try to squeeze in a rest. So, yeah, Zephyr and Caro, what do the two of you want to do in the meanwhile?
Caro's also gonna sit down for a hot sec.
Yeah.
I was gonna note that Kayla would probably sit down as well.
Alright. Zephyr?
Okay. Zephyr is going to look around and just simply... So we're done here?
Not quite. I'm going to go over to the computer, and I'm going to, I guess, do some subterfuge.
All right. Zephyr, you kind of watch with some vague interest as Caro, Lucian, Caleb, Gil, and Raccoon just sit and catch their breath and clean themselves off. As Neon, you place your very sore, I imagine, fingers to the keyboard, but now you're not in as much of a desperate hurry. What would you like to do? It looks like they got interrupted again.
No, Gil is actually doing something, by the way.
All right, yeah, well, while Neon's dealing with being interrupted, then what would Gil like to do?
He's going after the Peacekeeper bodies that he didn't toss over the edge.
Going for parts.
He's retrieving ionic axes and their little electronic thingies that have their virtual money and stuff on it.
Okay. Make me a survival check.
I was like, the problem is, are any of it intact? Everything got blown up. Almost.
No, yeah, that's why I'm having him roll survival. Because also, not that many of their bodies are even here, given that you threw most of them over the side.
And to be fair, whenever they exploded, they created gaps so they would have fallen through anyways.
So yeah, I'm basically having him roll to see if just any of it is salvageable.
That's a 19.
All right. As mentioned, any of them who died either exploded or were thrown over the side. So basically, if the heat didn't kill the electronics, then the fall definitely did. However, Caleb did manage to kill one without triggering their vest. And that Peacekeepers equipment is intact.
Didn't Zephyr also do that?
Well,
Yeah, but I think they still got pushed over the side.
yeah,
Lucian still checked him over the side.
So you find, however, that the field commander's equipment, since he had been killed by Caleb right at the start, and there's not a pit where their body landed, their equipment is still seemingly intact. So you were able to retrieve one plasma assault crossbow, one suppressor pistol, one ionic axe, one frost grenade, and one PDA.
Okay, can you break that down for me?
In what aspect?
I mean, like, can you private message me all that? So
Oh yeah, sure. I'll do that while Neon's like mentioning their hackies.
And then I'm gonna keep an eye on the base of the tower after that to see if, like, what's happening down below.
Okay, so just make me a perception check.
Are people coming?
Well, yeah, but the automatons took the only working elevators, and then there was the ones that were climbing up the rope. But depending on what Neon ends up doing, that may not be that may not even be relevant.
15.
All right, noted. Neon, are you back with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so what would you like to do?
I guess I want to, since I have access to every machine in the whole city, I want to do some looking through various systems that I normally wouldn't have access to see if I can find some information on the commissioner's stinkiness.
Make an investigation check with advantage.
I will do this thing. I will do it right now, in fact. Give me just a moment. There we go. Investigation. Okay, so we got 15 and then a 19.
Okay.
Oh,
Give me just a hot sec to send Gil what they found. Is everyone else just content to chill for the moment, by the way?
I mean, I'll let Neon do his thing for now.
Okay.
Definitely does have more.
Alright, sorry, I thought I was getting all the things together. Neon, cracking your knuckles and stretching your fingers with a lot more patience, you begin to hack the system, or rather, simply search the system you now control. And searching through, are you basically just looking for anything that like is standout suspicious?
Yeah, like maybe something that says email to the Scar Concord. I'm helping you hold the city hostage.
Yeah, subject, I am evil.
Yeah, exactly. Subject, reasons that I could be arrested and ousted from the Peacekeepers.
Neon, you don't find anything that glaringly obvious, however. Thinking quickly, you start searching through the Peacekeepers' files. And you notice that the living Ichor Beast that you guys brought back from the facility was not logged in as evidence. You also notice that the commissioner has ordered the Peacekeepers to destroy evidence that they gathered from the facility. Both of those things are incriminating enough on their own. However, you are able to see several calls were made between the commissioner's office and a location somewhere in Gyogre.
All right. Then I would like to make note of this information and broadcast a message to the rest of, or to the whole of the Peacekeepers, saying to go arrest the guy, the commissioner man, for crimes against humanity or whatever.
All right. Any particular basically any particular way you want to do this in character, or do you just want to leave it as just a broad thing?
No, just very like, quick and to the point. Just go arrest the commissioner. He's has suspicion of I guess treason.
Yeah, it'd be treason.
I think that'd be the proper word.
Mm-hmm. All right. Taking the evidence that seems because even the tampering of evidence twice alone would be reason enough to have him interrogated.
Mm-hmm.
You broadcast to every peacekeeper in the city that the commissioner is wanted for treason against the troops of Thredu and the city of Edict. They have been making several suspicious calls to figures unknown out in the Gyogre territories, and have been proven to be tampering with evidence twice. And as you send out this order, the automatons kind of jolt a little bit and look to you, Neon, from either side of the tower room. And I believe you speak Undercommon, correct?
I believe so, yes.
Initiate capture.
I will respond affirmative.
The drones give a nod, turn, and with a surprisingly gentle and cute motion, tap the button to call the elevator up to get down to ground level and presumably go out and grab the commissioner. Neon, you can't get immediate confirmation that your order was received until just kind of watching the network to see what happens. There's a silence, as if the Peacekeepers are kind of taking in what you said. And whenever you initially just talk about the tampering of evidence, there's just silence. But whenever you mention that he's been caught colluding with someone in Gyogre, the pause extends for a bit before you see a response. Affirmative. Another one. Roger. Another. Yes, sir.
That's the thing they hate the most.
Another one.
Remember, this entire society is built on people who hated Gyogre so much that they deserted. Eventually, you see a flood of responses coming in indicating that the order has been received and that the HQ is being stormed to arrest the commissioner for treason against the city and its people and for tampering with evidence.
Take this baseball bat and beat him to death with it. Hit him right in the ribs.
Break his fucking legs.
Break his fucking legs.
Break his nuts.
Neon, from the looks of it, the order has been received. The Peacekeepers are no longer targeting you, and instead are now going after the commissioner to place him under arrest.
I make a show of dusting my hands off. Well, that's that.
Okay, so we're
Gotta
done.
get out of this fucking hot place.
Please. Need to sleep. I'm fucking tired.
I guess while we leave, y'all can explain to me one thing. How did this happen?
What happened?
Because remember, Zephyr got here late.
Oh.
Zephyr did a distraction. Y'all just immediately It took 5 minutes to just.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, Zephyr did a distraction, and 5 minutes later, alarm!
I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I will say, while the party's heading down... Yeah, while the party's heading down, do you want to just join the automatons in one of the elevators?
Gil was actually going to just fly down because it's quicker.
Okay. Gil, you start flying down with your boots. Do the rest of you just want to join the automatons in the elevators?
Sure.
Yep, might as well.
Alright, and I'll say you don't have to do it in character, but who wants to catch Zephyr up on what they missed?
I will, since I'd have the most technical knowledge about it.
Okay. I'll say, for fun, let's reunite the short squad. Neon, Caro, and Zephyr are in the leftmost elevator, while Lucian and Caleb take the other with Raccoon, and Gil heads down via rocket boots. And as Zephyr, Caro, and Neon head down on the leftmost elevator with the two automatons, Neon, you just catch up Zephyr, and to an extent Caro, who didn't understand the technical side of the mission, on everything that happened. That the party stormed the base, Gil flew into a rage and threatened the scientist who sounded the alarm. Neon got into a digital battle with Coulomb, managed to turn every machine in the city against him, before finally, with one final keystroke, overwhelming and destroying his machine in the real world, which not only has now locked him out of the system, but means that even if he wanted to try and get back in, which Neon, by your estimate, should be impossible, even if he wanted to try, he would have to get a new computer.
Mm-hmm.
And...
yeah, with GPU prices these days, whew.
Gil, you arrive significantly quicker to the bottom floor than the rest of the party does. As you're however, you do still have to land and then go down a hall, down a set of stairs, out one of the doors, and that takes you back out into the lobby. So I'll say Gil coming out the hall, and the rest of you coming down the elevators get there at roughly the same time. And the lobby...
looking for all the people that fell.
Gil, when you get to the floor, fell they did. Most of them are squidgy.
They went splat.
I want to see if their PDAs and stuff like that are
figures.
salvageable.
Roll a survival check with disadvantage.
So Matthew, I feel like you could have just told him, look, I'm going to be honest with you, man. You're not getting shit out of this.
Oh, no, I'm letting him roll. That doesn't mean that there's a chance he'll succeed.
Yeah. Because sometimes rolling doesn't always mean that you'll get what you want.
Yeah, no, like I told my Friday group, sometimes I just have you guys roll for the fuck of it, even if I already know what's going to happen.
So if I use my inspiration, does that make it a flat roll?
Yes.
Then that's a 21. I'm using my inspiration.
All right. Gil, you check the bodies of... now, some of them had fallen to the lower catwalks, but even then, these electronics are somewhat delicate, and that's still like a 15, 20-foot drop minimum. And for some of these guys, or rather, most of them, it was a several 100-foot drop. Their PDAs are completely unsalvageable, as are most of their crossbows. However, I will say that I will throw you a bone and say that for the engineer, the pyrotechnics officer, and the heavy weapons specialist who fell a much shorter distance, you are able to salvage their axes and pistols. However, their crossbows and PDAs are also completely broken.
Okay, how many axes is that?
3 axes, 3 pistols.
Okay.
Because most of them had either already used their grenades or their vests were obviously triggered and their PDAs and crossbows are broken. So that's 3 ionic axes and 3 suppressor pistols. And Neon, as I'll say, especially with that delay, as you guys from the elevators arrive in the lobby, Gil exits out the right hall, just toting like a handful of ionic axes and suppressor pistols that are covered in flesh and blood.
Mm-hmm.
That's just great.
Well, yeah.
That's just.
I know,
charming.
right? This is amazing.
Yeah, that's Gil for you. Almost ruining. Almost killing thousands.
There's like a severed ear stuck to one.
What did
Yeah.
Gil do?
He fucking salvaged from the dead bodies
From his
of Neon's comrades.
And it's all covered in blood.
Hey,
and
Neon,
viscera.
did you know any of them?
History check.
Yeah, history check.
All right, cool.
Are they even recognizable for most of these guys?
Well, I mean, you saw him before they. Well, no, actually, he didn't really get a good. He was more looking at the computer, so.
I got a 2.
Yeah, with just the fleshy bits, you have no idea. It could be anyone.
It could be anyone. It could be my captain for all I know.
Could
He would
be.
have come up here. He was on our side.
It could have been my best man, you know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Could have
As
been
you
my
guys
roommate.
head down the stairs, the lobby is completely deserted and silent.
I
However,
imagine everybody started falling on the floor, like... That probably sent the party running.
Well, they were already.
yeah, and you see even the garden is mostly deserted. The only exceptions are 2 peacekeepers, who, Zephyr, you actually recognize as the ones who had stopped to help you when it seemed like you were wounded, who are currently comforting what appears to be the bride of the wedding, just sobbing.
No, I problem.
I just had the worst thing in my head.
Caleb was like, wow, talk about the bad timing for them, but great timing for us.
Yeah, like Gil's gonna.
Go over.
You're actually gonna go over there.
Yeah.
What are you gonna say?
That
Do
is
it, it'd be funny.
I don't know,
that-
but Gil's gonna just
That's-
randomly say, "Well, at least our weddings are gonna be rememberable."
As you guys open the door and Gil, you just impulsively say that. The peacekeepers and the bride both look up to you. The bride just sobs, and the peacekeepers just look like incredulous and offended.
I'm gonna give Gil a smack on my way to go see her.
Like, Gil's the one who started this. Gil's the one who ruined the
Yeah,
wedding to
yeah.
He's
begin
gonna do
with.
something that's just gonna not end well. I was like, he's gonna look to Gil, but like, by the way, can I have my stuff back?
Of course.
All right, Gil,
And he'll
as
pass
you're
out everyone's stuff.
Wow.
all right, Gil, as you're trading off everyone's belongings back to them, Lucy and you head on ahead a little bit and approach the bride. The peacekeepers kind of place a hand on their suppressors, but don't pull them on you. As she looks up to you and just glares through her ruined makeup and just, "What do you want?"
I'll just kind
Take
of
it off
like,
my headphones.
I'm gonna sit, I'm not gonna like sit down or anything, but I'm gonna like crouch down to her, so like we're eye level, and I'm just gonna put my hand on her, on her knee or whatever.
She kind of smacks your hand away.
At the chest. She, that's fair.
Yeah.
There are no words for what
I can think of a few.
I'm sure you can, but that little fox over there just saved everything. I'm sorry that today was awful for you.
Well, they.
At least you're still married, right?
That
She
little-
kind of sniffs and turns away from you, but she does kind of glance at Neon and just kind of stare at him, as if like actually taking him in for the first time. And the peacekeepers kind of like whisper something to her and start kind of walking you back to the group, Lucian. But as they approach, you can see one of them looks to you, Zephyr, and after a moment of just kind of staring at you and like at the fucking bits of your leg, just kind of stares before you can see one of them actually kind of smirk a little bit. And the other one looks at you, Neon, and just, "Is that true? What you said?"
I guess, yeah, more or less.
That's not a good answer when you're accusing someone of treason, Cadet. Well,
Why did you give such a non-committal response?
That's how he is.
Because I'm cool like that. I'm epic.
If it makes anyone feel any better, it was for a good cause.
Well, the heist is a good cause. Gil, the big one's the main reason this all happened.
Hey, what do you mean?
I tried to get them all out of there without bloodshed, but that stupid person had to sound an alarm.
Well, actually...
So it is not on my hands.
You can see the Peacekeepers both... You can see the Peacekeepers both glare at you, and they have to, like, visibly take, like, a deep breath, and I'm going to say that whatever your friend says will not be held against you, officer.
He's not used to dealing with alarms that can be raised like that.
Their voices. People's vocal cords.
I mean, to be fair, like... They hit like a button, didn't they?
No, they just screamed.
They made a call.
I thought that they screamed.
Well, they screamed, but then you could hear one of them say, "Call the Peacekeepers," and then they showed up like a little bit later. The Peacekeeper who was looking to use Zephyr.
They wouldn't have been able to call for help that easily.
He kind of puts his hands in his pockets, and no civilians were hurt, and they did their civic duty, and our comrades knew what they signed up for. The commissioner was taking us all for fools, and we'll be sure to add their heads onto the commissioner's rap sheet rather than yours. And he kind of glares at you, Gil. Besides, you've got enough blood on your hands, Colonel.
Yeah, I'm aware. Did Neon fill us in on the entire battle yet?
Nope. He only told Zephyr and Kara so far.
He told everything. Frankly, Zephyr. I think Zephyr just kind of zoned out after he just heard Gil fucked up.
yeah. Neon mentioned that Gil screwed up, and Neon was just, or Zephyr was just like, okay.
Yeah.
What else is new?
Yeah.
Zephyr's like, is he living and breathing?
The officers, both with their hands in their pockets now, by now, they'll probably be storming the office and, with any luck, placing the bastard under arrest. The evidence you submitted was sound, and if Officer Voder's vouching for you, then, well, you're fine in my book.
I appreciate that. I've had quite a day.
They both kind of hesitate, and look, the top floor is going to be a bit of a crime scene for a while, but you can stay at headquarters if you want.
Sure. It'd be nice to be in familiar territory.
You want us to put the rest of you as well?
It would be nice to get some rest.
I'm good.
All right. Just keep the colonel away from our troops.
I only kill if I have to. I'm not like my father on that one, at least.
I have 9 dead comrades that can testify otherwise.
Would they have given us another choice?
It's part of our code. We don't kill suspects. We just take them down and take them in for questioning.
And the next thing you know, the people that the commissioner was conspiring with would have succeeded and pulled off their plan.
That's the only reason I'm not bringing your friend in for murder. Don't push it.
Besides, I don't know your code. I'm an outsider here.
Yeah. Yeah, you are.
For people who are so concerned about not killing, it is very strange that you strap bombs to yourself.
Only goes off if we die. It's a safety measure.
What about anybody standing around?
The explosion's not guaranteed to kill. It's a fairly weak blast, all things considered. Just enough to incinerate our equipment so that the Gyogrins can't steal it.
Another glare at
I look right at Gil.
Gil has all that stuff in his bag. It cannot be seen.
Oh yeah, no, they're not looking at you. They're just genuinely saying that earnestly.
Lucian knows better, so that's a bunch.
Oh no, I know that y'all know, but they don't.
Yeah, but when he says that specifically, I glare at Gil.
But, like we said, what happened to our comrades is a tragedy, but the commissioner was taking us for fools, and you guys did still save our lives. You saved our captain's life. If the evidence you submitted is real, then he would have been one of the first casualties if the commissioner's plans had succeeded. And, well, so, thank you for saving us, all of you. We care about the people of this city. We do. It's not perfect, but it's home.
Yeah.
Come on. Let's get to headquarters, officer. We're not going to interrogate you yet, but I'd sure like to hear the story over a few drinks.
I do owe you a drink, don't I? I give Neon a hat.
Zephyr's gonna call.
Yeah.
Zephyr's gonna proceed.
I'm interested too.
Zephyr's gonna proceed to walk off.
Zephyr
Zephyr.
walks away.
Where you going, little guy?
Back to. Gonna go take a rest.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
all right, just can you not leave the city for a day or two, just until we can ask you a few questions? You're not a
you
suspect.
really can't. You've got somewhere to eat.
Like I said, just for a day or two, we just have a few questions we need to ask, just to make sure all the evidence is lined up, all the paperwork's in order, and then we'll let you go.
I can't. There's more lives in danger.
And
I have.
if you want to die on this hill, be my guest.
You don't understand, Caleb. There are more people dying.
And
The
If
two
you don't comply with them, there's going to be more people dying.
peacekeepers kind of the two peacekeepers kind of look to each other and seem a little less irritated and more just kind of frustrated, but they both sigh and just, all right, let's get everyone warmed up and food in their bellies. And he puts a hand to his earpiece and we need some peacekeeper patrols at the garden party to clean up the last of the mess. We'll be escorting Officer Neon and their allies back to headquarters. And with that, the two of them give you a respectful salute, Neon, and start to escort you guys away from the tower. Zephyr, I'm assuming you're heading back down to the Sweet Honey Hive?
yes.
All right. However, I'll say, Zephyr, as you walk off, again, the peacekeepers don't trouble you as long as they feel like you heard their statement of just don't leave the city yet.
No care.
As you're walking off, you hear a pair of footsteps pick up alongside you, and as you kind of glance, you see Captain Voter is walking alongside you.
You're like,
Who's
why?
that? Who's that again? Like, who are you again?
Do you out of character not remember, or does Zephyr just not?
Kind of both. I mean, he probably.
This was Neon's commanding officer who helped you guys get in here to begin with.
He might have vaguely remembered him, but.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was like.
He was the one who was basically going to suicide bomb himself to set the EMP off if Neon couldn't hack the tower.
Does EMP not have a trigger?
Well, no, it does, but remember, he has a cybernetic that he needs to breathe. So if
The
him
way
setting
you
it off...
described it, you made me think he was going to use one of those vests.
No, he's basically going to set the EMP off, but basically it would have definitely killed him to do that. Voter, with his hands in his pockets, walks alongside you for a bit, Zephyr, and... Well, how'd things go?
Definitely could have gone a lot worse.
Oh, no, he's with Zephyr, who's by himself.
Why the fuck
sorry,
would you with Zephyr? Why would he not go with Neon?
Well, let's
Sorry,
have the
the group.
conversation progress and see if he explains.
My bad. I thought he was with the whole group.
No, that's understandable. I'm just, he's just walking with you while you head to the elevator, Zephyr. Yeah. How did things go?
As far as Neon has told me, Coulomb is out of the system. It sounds like this whoever fellow is being arrested by the Peacekeepers.
with some type of evidence.
Good. I heard over the radio that we took some casualties.
Yes, one of my comrades, can't really, be quiet to save his life.
Yeah, your group always gave me that impression. But I'm sure the officers already gave you this spiel, but line of duty and all that, and the commissioner was playing us all for fools, and a few had to die for that, but nothing to be done about it now. Maybe if we're lucky, they can get surgery to save some of them, but if not, then they knew what they signed up for.
Okay.
He pauses for a bit, and sorry, I'm interrupting what I'm sure is some long-awaited quiet time. I've said it before, but the Peacekeepers tend to treat me like something of a celebrity, and everyone's going to be interrogating me about my side of the story, and I'm sure Neon's getting the celebrity treatment at headquarters right now, or he's about to, so I wasn't looking forward to that, so I figured I'd take the night off and just deal with it in the morning once I've had some sleep.
Good for you, I guess.
I know we're not exactly friends. You don't strike me as the type who makes those, but for what it's worth, thanks. If it wasn't for you and your crew, I probably would have died trying to uncover all this by myself. I'll be sure to tell Neon the same in person. Just like I said, I can't deal with the celebrity treatment right now on top of everything else.
Well, I barely know you, so I don't see how you could be a celebrity.
You barely know me because you're from the surface. But honestly, it's refreshing. What's your plans when you get back up top, out of curiosity? Assuming you plan to leave.
Yes, no, we do plan on leaving. I mean, this place is not that interesting. We merely stayed because some of the people I've made deals with have requested to have me save the town, and now maybe they'll be under my favor.
I see. I have to wonder what sort of places you're seeing topside that are so much more interesting than this, but well, thanks for saving our humble little town then.
Well, most of it, I guess, would go to Neon. We merely just bodyguard him.
Well, what's a Peacekeeper without their team? Speaking of, figure I'll tell you now. Neon already knows this. Now that all that's said and done, once the commissioner is placed under arrest, either me or him are gonna be the new commissioner. We're both celebrities now, so it's gonna come down to a popularity contest and who actually wants the job. And personally, I'd like it if Neon took it, but if it ends up being me, or honestly, I could probably speak for the Officer Neon himself, but I can definitely say for me, if you guys ever need Edict's help topside once all this is over, it may not be easy to convince the Peacekeepers to help you out after everything that's happened down here, but I can definitely say that I'll answer if you need backup. I'm gonna guess that whatever you guys dealt with in that tower isn't just stopping in this city, is it?
That's if they stopped. That's if they fully have stopped. But no, they probably will continue on with other places, getting what they want until it's completely gone.
He gives a kind of grim nod. At this point, you guys arrive at the elevator, and he scans himself in and then hits the button to send it back down to Lower Edict. And as you're going, he puts his hands back in his pockets and... So, yeah. If you intend to keep this battle going topside, then... I don't want to leave the city for too long, but if you need backup, I'm willing to answer. You've done me a solid, so it's only fair. And if Neon ends up becoming commissioner in my stead, then... Well, I like to think at this point that he'd answer if you called.
Was it if you have the previous commissioner arrested, you become the new commissioner?
No, he mentioned earlier it's basically a popularity contest, like whichever Peacekeeper people want to do the job ends up doing it. Yeah. But since Neon and Boater are now essentially equal celebrities, it's just going to come down to which one actually wants the job.
Yeah, that's
So then Voter wouldn't save Edict somehow.
Supposedly. No, nobody's ever asked him why he's so famous. They just accepted it.
True. Maybe he did something cool. Well, you can ask him. You can inform him on that whenever you see him, and if he chooses, then it's his decision.
He gives a nod, and well, at this point, the elevator opens up and reveals Lower Edict, and I'm sure you're in a hurry to get back to the honey hive, so I'll see you around. Zephyr, right?
Yes.
Joseph Voter. It's been a pleasure. Thanks again for saving my life.
No problem.
See you around. And with that, the two of you part ways. He heads over into the eastern side of the city where the mother operates, while you head south. Anything in particular you want to do once you reach the Sweet Honey Hive, or are you just going to get your usual penthouse and sleep the night?
Well, for starters, she would like to go grab his stuff, or at least get to her stuff, because he never gave anything to kill.
Yeah, so I'm assuming you just left it at the hotel for the Queen Bee to stow away?
And stowed it in his room and all that.
Alright. As you arrive at the Sweet Honey Hive, while you expected it to be very crowded, given the nature of what happened at the party, there's not exactly going to be wedding guests looking to go to a brothel. You see the Queen Bee still in her feminine kobold form, sharing martinis with the various members of the Amazons. And as you enter, all of them, you can see all of them cheer and start exchanging money and gems with each other. And you can see a lot of it is money that you guys have paid to come in here before. And the Queen Bee hops down off the counter and approaches you. And it's weird looking at eye level with somebody as she smiles at you. And again, in a only slightly more feminine version of your own voice, smiles to you and puts a hand on your shoulder. We were all taking bets on whether you'd show up here, although I'll admit alone is surprising. But I'm guessing your friends are up partying in the upper city?
I don't know about party, but I know that they taken to the headquarters.
She kind of pauses and... Thanks for everything, Zephyr.
Well, make sure that this doesn't happen again.
I plan to. I know you're not one for parties, so I'm sure you don't really want to join us for drinks and honey, but I made sure your penthouse is clean and all of your stuff is in your bed. She kind of runs a finger along the rim of her glass, seeming actually a little anxious about something, and then, if I may ask, what's your plan now?
Zephyr thinks about this. Thinking. Well, sounds like we move off to the next city of distress for now, and then eventually.
Ever the hero, huh?
I have my ulterior motives, but
Oh, I know it. Not as selfish as some of the men that come in here, though.
But I know Lucian's gonna throw a fit if we don't get to Sun Dragon.
Something going on topside.
Something about, there possibly gonna be attacked soon. Who knows? If not already.
Well, for what it's worth, you've made quite a name for yourself in the underground. I mean, the metaphorical one. Although, I suppose at this point the literal one rings true as well. So, if you need backup or supplies, we're just one message away, huh? She kind of hesitates again and takes a deep swig, like emptying out her martini before... Will I ever see you again?
Well, I mean, I don't plan on dying, so it's always a possibility.
She gives a smile and... Give a girl hope, huh? You can head upstairs, but you're free to join the party anytime you like. Let's give the hero of Edict a few cheers, huh, girls? And they all start, like, wolf whistling and clapping as you start walking to the elevator. Is there anything you'd like to say or do, or are you just going to head up to the penthouse, get your stuff, and go to bed?
Trying to think. He'll head up. Yeah, he'll just head up and make sure all his stuff is there with him, so that he can, either leave in the morning or whatever happens next. For now. But
Okay.
He'll just rest from the intenseness.
Okay. You take some time to rest and recoup. And go down for a long rest in the Sweet Honey Hive penthouse. The rest of you. Raccoon, Cato, Gil, Caleb, Neon, and Lucian. Start making your way through the upper city towards Peacekeeper headquarters. The streets are mostly deserted. People hiding in their homes as, again, as far as they knew, the network was under attack. And...
Well, they weren't wrong.
Fair. Kato, there's a little bit of padding footsteps behind you, and you see Garrow, bounding over the road, and practically, ramming into you.
She will give him a big hug. Also, I didn't state this earlier, but I do want to diverge from the group too.
Alright, well, yeah, so I'll say at this point you can kind of wander off. Where are you planning to go?
I'm planning to visit the brothers.
Alright, so, I'm curious about something. Did you ever change your uniform? Did you get your heavy armor on?
Diving suit back?
Well, I mean, said Gil gave her.
Well, yeah, Gil said he handed out everyone's stuff, and, you're not exactly in a hurry, so do you want to just put your diving suit back on?
Yeah. Put it over the leather stuff and make it really gross feeling.
Yeah, just... Alright, yeah, so before the Peacekeepers pull you away, you change into your diving suit as Gil hands everyone's inventories back, and, you're walking through Upper Edict with the group for a bit as the Peacekeepers lead you on, but once Garrow bounds into you, you kind of, similar to Zephyr, diverge a bit. I'll say for future reference, feel free to just say that from the beginning, because I could have included you in the earlier dialogue.
It's okay. It was just everyone was talking, and I didn't want to interrupt.
You gotta say stuff to do stuff. It's D&D.
Ooh,
It's okay. You kind of give the group a bit of a look before wandering off with Garrow in tow. The Peacekeepers kind of glance your way, but again, as long as you don't leave the city, you're free to go wherever you like. So you head to the elevator. Is there anything you'd like to say or do before getting to the docks? Like anything you want to say to Garrow or anything, or just, kind of quietly making your way down to the lower city docks?
Just kind of look at Garrow and just... But that battle did not go well for me.
Garrow kind of tilts their head initially in confusion, but then after kind of sniffing at you, sees the wounds on your chest, or rather can smell them since the diving suit covers them, and kind of gives a low rumble and kind of gently bumps their head into your stomach.
She gives him a scritch on the head. It's okay, I made it out regardless, like I always do. I wouldn't leave you behind.
Garrow kind of gives a little head wobble and something akin to a grin, although to most it would look like a snarl, but you know Garrow better than that. You come to the elevator, make your way down, head through Lower Edict. As Zephyr heads to the southwest side and Voter heads to the west, you head to the southwest. And as you approach, Zephyr going southeast. Sorry, I always get east and west mixed up specifically. As Zephyr heads southeast and Voter heads west, you head southwest. And as you approach the gates, similar to the Sweet Honey Hive, there's actually nobody at the gate right now, but you can see it's just open. And as you curiously enter, you see a wide set of twins and triplets occupying the lobby and just sharing, unlike the Amazons, which are a more raucous and wild party of martinis, this is just more kind of quietly sipping wine and just thinking and contemplating. But as you enter, the perky and goth elvish twins at the counter, who are both, chewing gum and sipping wine, they don't even say anything. They just both give you a smile and nod towards the elevator. And the goth twin speaks up. They were expecting you. It's unlocked.
Garrow gives a big smile and nods to them.
And thanks for, making sure we don't die.
Yes, it is what I do. Adventurers help people.
Yeah, and while you don't get the wild cheering that Zephyr got, you do get a lot of respectful raises of wine glassing, tip of the hats, and respectful nods as you cross through the threshold. Unlike the wild cheers of a tavern, it's more like the respectful acknowledgement of a noble as you make your way to the upstairs, which again just hangs open, unlike every other time you've been here. The broker's normally so secure, private, and paranoid. And you make your way up the stairs where the door to the library also is open. And as you peek your head in along with Garrow, you see the three brothers sitting on the couch together, arms over each other's shoulders, silent, but knowing the connection these triplets have, it's unlikely they need words to commune with each other. And you don't even get a chance to say anything before Ledger Broker speaks up. I was wondering if you'd come.
Yes, I need to see my friends before we leave.
You really saved our bacon up there, huh? Things got a little messy, but can't make an omelet without cracking a few Peacekeeper skulls.
Well, yes. I wish they weren't fighting us, but well.
Well, Regardless, thanks to your efforts, our work continues. If the Commissioner's treachery had not been exposed, as well as the Scar Concord's plans for this city, my brothers and I would have been one of the first casualties, turned into shambling monsters.
And you're not, luckily.
Marcus kind of scratches at his head like a dog and licks his lips. Do you want to sit with them? There's not room on the couch, but there is room in one of the comfy recliners where Ledger normally sits.
Sure.
Right. As you sit in the recliner across from them, Ledger kind of leans back and... So, if I may ask, what happens now?
Well, once they question us, I assume, we're going to go back to the surface to Sundragon.
Land of the free, home of the hot.
I suppose.
So, you intend to battle Tropu Bikok and his airship fleet?
Well, I intend to kill him, so yes.
The three brothers pause. Their expressions don't change, but you can tell there's a little bit of, not necessarily shock, not even really surprise is the right word, more that kind of like, almost that confirmation silence. You understand this won't be easy. You'll need an army to overtake Tropu's resources.
Hopefully we'll have enough when we get to Sundragon. They're already fighting them.
And your plans after Mr. Bikok is dead?
Well, I hope we can go and save my friend, but I'm not sure from there.
Well, I think what my brother wants to say, but is too much of a sourpuss to come out with it. We hope you'll come back sometime.
Oh, yes. You're all special to me. You're gonna stand up and hold her arms out for a hug.
Which all three, Red and Marcus are a lot more open and enthusiastic about it, but eventually, after a several second pause of hesitation, Ledger comes into a much more long-lasting and acknowledgeable hug than he had when you first left. And when he steps back, kind of adjusts his jacket to maintain his composure and adjusts his glasses before. Do be sure to stay safe. Mr. Bikok has a wide array of resources at his disposal. His airship is armed with enough firepower to take down entire kingdoms, and Dr. Emperor Coulomb has supplied him with an army at his disposal.
That is unfortunate. That means I'll have to kill a lot of people.
Oh, we didn't say people.
Then a lot of monsters.
We never said that, either.
Well, this will be fun, then.
There's all three of them smile. Red with his wide, like, cheek-stretching smile. Marcus with this kind of, like, gap-toothed and gross-looking grin. And Ledger with a kind of ghost of a smile that briefly flickers on his face. And if you ever need your questions answered, our archive is always at your disposal, Miss Carroll. And we wish you all the luck in the world for rescuing your comrades and defeating the Scar Concord before they can threaten anyone else. The city may be disgusting, polluted, corrupt, and full of traitors and thieves and criminals, but it's home. It's always been home. It was our parents' home, and I think even before the city even existed, it was home, you know? You know how, like, one of those things where it's like a soulmate but a house?
Yes, I understand. I grew up in a swamp, and I don't think I could think of it as anything other than home.
Given your proclivities for swampland and for your regent, perhaps you should visit the Gyoga fiefdoms to the south.
Gyoga.
Well, it's not Gyoga territory legally, because, that would be against the treaty they signed. But he took it, and Red kind of puts a hand over his mouth, and information for information, brother. But
Kara did just save their lives.
Well, they've acknowledged before they actually value the information in their archive over their own lives. And that's why if one of them dies,
that favor's got to be worth something.
Well, Caro's got to be the one to push for it.
Yeah, like Caro has to ask for it. Basically, they did offer to give her information, but she has to give the initiative.
So that is interesting.
But while I may not be able to part with information freely, there is something I can part with. He snaps his fingers, and Marcus reaches into their grubby little coat and pulls out what appears to be just a medallion of some kind, but you notice it has a kind of bluish-gray sheen to it. And Ledger takes it and lets it dangle from his fingers before holding it out to you.
She'll grab it.
Ledger crosses his arms, and this is something of our family's creation. You can use it once a day to look through our cameras.
Wow, that seems cool.
As I said, we may not be able to part with it freely, but perhaps you can share my brother's ability to parse through large amounts of information. If you ever find that you need information against a target, object, or person, simply speak into the medallion and we'll provide you with a feed of whatever camera we have that's closest to them.
Oh, if you want me to have a camera too, you can. I promise I won't hide it.
Ledger, again, gives that kind of ghost of a smile. Again, if you weren't looking for it, you wouldn't even notice that his expression changed. But then Red kind of kicks at the ground a little bit awkwardly, and we also snuck one of our cameras into that.
That is okay.
Information for information, after all. We'll consider any information your camera provides us as payment for information we're able to provide you in turn through your use of the medallion. Does that seem fair?
Yes. Plus, it means we get to stay in contact, however far away we are.
And again, all three of them smile, and you won't be able to hear us, but we'll be able to hear you. So, just give us the signal if you ever need us to storm up there with an army. Something like, caw or help, I'm dying! Something subtle.
Wait, the brokers have an army?
Yeah, they have a whole array of twins and triplets who work as information gatherers for them.
And if you ever need help, I'll come help you too.
Of course. What was it you said downstairs? It's what you do.
Yes.
Well, all the luck in the world to you, Miss Caro. And I hope we'll see you again sometime. Well, besides the camera. We hope we'll see you, here in person. Because, you can hug a camera, but it's not the same,
Yes. You have to feel slimy skin.
At this, you can see Ledger's mouth corners kind of twitch before he does something you've never heard from him. He laughs. And you can see Red kind of just stare at him incredulously, and even Marcus kind of flinches like he thought there was someone else in the room and has to double check that it's actually his brother laughing, until finally Ledger kind of wipes at his eyes and just, I'm going to miss you, Miss Carol.
Don't worry, we'll only part for now.
Indeed. Our archive's always available to you and your friends in the event you have need of them.
Yes, yes.
And Ledger, to your surprise, approaches you and hugs you. And see you topside, Kara.
Yes, as the humans say, I will see you later.
Oh no, I know this one! In a while, crocodile.
Yes, see you later, alligator.
He kind of pauses and then looks to his brother. Are there alligators in the swamps? No, alligators don't exist.
That's why it's fun.
You always do this, brother. First it was the chicken thing, and now it's alligators. They smile to you, and do you want to just hang out with them for a while, or do you want to go ahead and head out?
I'll hang out for a little bit, and then head back to where everyone is.
Okay. In that case, Gil, Raccoon, Caleb, Neon, Lucian. Does anyone else want to wander off from the group? Just by the time the Peacekeepers get there, like, all of you have left.
Yeah, they just turn around, like, huh, there used to be 5 of you, now there's 2.
Alright.
Yeah, he's gonna stick with the group. He wants to rest.
Alright.
And he could probably still, and honestly, because he did the whole cleaning thing and then waited in there, he's probably sweating again.
Oh, yeah.
It's cancer.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. The 5 of you make your way down the road, led by the 2 Peacekeepers, until you arrive at headquarters, where you can already see several security automatons and Peacekeepers are gathered outside with weapons at the ready. Although, from the looks of it, they've already gone in. These people are just out here in case the situation escalates in any way. And there's this kind of off-putting silence as you guys make your way there, as any chatter of them just whispering to each other through their earpieces, or giving the automatons orders, or just reinforcing things, they all just stare at you guys as you come close. That kind of like, Neon, you've seen this before whenever they see Voter go by, that kind of like, oh my god, that person's a hero, kind of expression. And you see several Peacekeepers give you guys salutes as you pass by, until you re-enter the carpeted cafeteria of Peacekeeper headquarters.
Is your Peacekeeper rank entirely determined by things you've done?
Is it DM?
Yes.
Yes.
I need a drink.
I think
something of a meritocracy.
No,
All right.
fuck it.
I
I'm
need
buying.
All right.
I guess technically he'd say bath because they don't have. Well, actually, they might have something like a shower.
Yeah, they have showers here. This is edict, so.
Yeah, we don't believe in
Yeah,
it. It
that
deletes our
good.
tumors.
I meant like topside because they're like at a.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
And I think showers actually. Yeah, I think showers would be a thing.
All right, I'm gonna have to look up when showers were invented.
I mean,
Well, it also could be different for the setting. Anyway, not important.
Yeah,
as
but
you-
it gives you an idea.
as you guys make your way to the cafeteria, Caleb, you excuse yourself to head upstairs to clean yourself up, as even Lucian's prestidigitation doesn't leave you feeling as clean as you'd like.
It's reasonable.
And as Caleb, now the third person to part from the group, leaves Lucian, Gil, Raccoon, Neon, and... Did I get everyone?
Yep.
Lucian, Gil. Yep, okay.
Don't forget about Raccoon.
Oh, I think I said Raccoon. So as the four of you sit at one of the tables, the Peacekeepers who are down here, again, tensions are kind of high since you presume the commissioner is being arrested upstairs. People immediately begin to crowd the four of you. Again, not immediately jumping into interrogations, more just genuinely wanting to hear the story. And Lucian, when you offer to pay for drinks, another Peacekeeper kind of raises a hand and, how about this? You tell us what happened and we'll cover the tab.
Hey, for drinks.
That sounds good to me.
Sounds good to me.
Hey, Cook, let's get some nice coffees and beers over here.
Hell yes, coffee.
And because they know about the fact that we had to kill some of their group, right? I'm
Yeah.
guessing.
They say that. I mean, yeah, it seems like every Peacekeeper heard about it over the radio.
So Gil's gonna say, for what it's worth, y'all are stronger than you look.
We'll choose to take that as a compliment.
Well, it is a very good compliment. At least I think it is.
Got it.
Whenever you speak up, Lucian, one of the Peacekeepers raises a hand and signs in common. It's fine. They knew what they signed up for, and the commissioner fooled us all. This is his doing, not yours.
I'll sign
keep
back.
saying
And say
that.
that's kind of not the point.
And yeah, well, Caleb, you're not here. You would get the impression that opinions among the Peacekeepers are a little divided on the matter. It seems like the lower ranking ones acknowledge that it was kind of a necessity situation, whereas the higher ranking ones seem to have taken it a little more personally.
Hey Gil, do you still have that book?
Which book?
The one that you're studying?
Oh no, Zephyr has it back.
Did he? Yeah, I don't remember I gave him back, but yeah.
Sorry, I was taking a drink while you guys were talking.
I don't think I have the book of proficiencies.
I think Neon has it. He never used it.
Oh yeah, Neon took it. They just haven't used it yet.
Like Neon was supposed to use it.
Neon, you're at the table. Do you want to give Lucian the book since you can? They're sitting right across from you, so you can hear them
Yeah,
asking
I
for it.
completely forgot that I had it. Yeah, I'll hand it over.
All right, Lucian, you may add Zarcy's book of proficiencies to your inventory.
Cool. Then
And-
start reading.
All right. Lucian, you just try to ignore the chatter of the cafeteria as you drink coffee and read through the book on whatever proficiency it is you're interested in learning.
I think we both know Matthew.
Alchemy, I'm guessing?
Yes.
All right. Neon, do you acquiesce to the Peacekeepers and tell them everything?
Yes, but I'll just...
Yeah, I was going to say, you can leave out anything you specify.
No, I was going to say, just, like, in the most, like, I guess anticlimactic way possible. Just like, oh, yeah.
Oh, you're kind of
it happened.
downplaying your role in it?
Yeah, just kind of like, oh, yeah, it happened, and that's it. Yeah.
You downplay.
Like, does he mention the part about Coulomb killing Gil?
What?
Like, what all does he go through?
So I assume they're just asking about the fight, and that's it, right?
Yeah, they're basically just like, how did you find out the commissioner was a traitor, and then how did you go about getting into the tower and, like, getting the evidence out there?
I'm gonna be real. I cannot fucking remember most of how we did, like, out of character. I have a really shitty memory.
You just say he tells them.
No. Yeah. I'm not forcing him to do. I'm more asking him, like, just like, because I was just gonna like have it be like a sort of fade out of like him telling the story. I just wanted to know if there was information he wanted to leave out.
Oh, no information being left out. Just the way they tell it is just like really boring, I guess. Just like,
all right.
Just like, oh, here's the facts and that's it. Like no flourish, no fluff, none of that.
All right. In that case, Lucian, you're just focused on drinking your coffee and reading your book. But Gil, you and the Peacekeepers listen with somebody, because some of this even you're not privy to. You and the Peacekeepers listen with bated breath as Neon goes through a somewhat dull retelling of the story. How you guys got wind from Voter that he suspected the Commissioner of treason, but that he needed Neon's help to prove it. Snuck you guys into the party as waitstaff, right under the noses of the Peacekeepers. You worked with some of the local crime families to position an EMP as an emergency failsafe plan. Zephyr created a distraction by faking an injury, and you can see the two officers who Zephyr had fooled just like looking to each other, and you can hear one of them just like, I fucking knew it. You guys went up the elevator, Zephyr taking the dumbwaiter to catch up. Gil flew into a rage and scared the scientist who sounded the alarm, and you out-hacked Dr. Coulomb. However, Gil, you're actually surprised, as again, the digital parts of the story you were not privy to. As Neon's telling the story, he mentions, again, unless you specify you want to leave it out, Neon, yeah, he indeed mentions that Coulomb didn't even have a bone to pick with the city or even with Neon, and in fact considered Neon a respectable comrade. But his hatred of Gil and his family drove him to do this. He was willing to kill millions for even a chance at seeing Gil's head on a spike.
Yeah, basically,
and
more points to the fact that this is all Gil's fault.
And from what Neon describes...
There was a bit of... It seems like they weren't all on the same page on who gets brought back.
Yeah, and I will mention that, Gil, as Neon's telling the story, from what you're gathering from Neon's retelling of Coulomb's words, that, because Neon, I'll say, since you did specify you wanted to record everything Coulomb said, you could pretty much recite it more or less verbatim, or just play the recording. From what you are told by Neon, and here, if Neon chooses to play the recording, Gil, Coulomb literally joined the Concord, taught himself how to do all these things, threatened millions, and is willing to destroy the continent because he hates you, your father, and your sister with such burning vitriol that he's willing to do anything to kill you.
Which again raises the question of who raised Gil from the dead, and why did the Concord do it if one of their members wanted him dead?
Also, because his father wanted it back.
Yeah, but that...
It raised a more pressing matter of he's angry. What is he doing now?
Yeah, because I will say, Neon, you know that Coulomb was the one the commissioner was colluding with, and the signals he was getting from Coulomb to call him were in Gyogre territory. So Coulomb's already there, presumably either under Gil's dad's nose or with his full knowledge and consent. Who knows what he's doing now?
I bet he's up to some mischief, up to some nonsense.
Right now he's probably throwing his melted down computer.
Yeah, going to GameStop, trying to trade it in for $5. Yeah. GameStop.
Yeah, Gil's gonna start drinking a lot heavier.
Okay. Neon, as story time concludes, the Peacekeepers seem suitably impressed, even with your somewhat dull recount, and give you several pats on the back, touslings of the head and ears. You get several drinks thrust on you, and towards the end of the night, things turn a little bit more somber as it goes from a celebration about Neon to, an understandable mourning of not only losing their comrades, but genuine betrayal of the commissioner. It seems like a lot of them really liked him and are bummed that things turned out this way. And the party becomes a lot more quiet and somber as eventually as night starts to fall, although again it's
By the way, I
underground,
assume with everything going on, Caleb probably had the little shower area all to himself.
Yeah. And
But
you guys
Caleb was the only one who didn't get approached constantly.
Yeah. And eventually as things calm down, you guys are escorted to the barracks area where you had slept your first night in Edict, and the door is shut. Lucian, at a quick glance around, you do not see Caro or Zephyr at the moment, although Caro, you will arrive in the night and join the group. But Zephyr, tends to wander off, but he usually is fine. It's more just what trouble he might get himself into. And Caro, when you do eventually return towards the darker part of night, by this point most of the group already asleep, you all settle in for, depending on how things go, what may be your last night in Edict. The city is saved. Coulomb has been locked out of the system. However, you've all been given a lot of new information and food for thought. Coulomb's motivations for joining the Concord have been revealed. Raccoon's father, potentially the people of Edict, presumably the entirety of Yav, are all considered expendable casualties in his one-man war against Gil and his family. Meanwhile, Caro's gotten some snippets of information from the brokers that Coulomb has gone even further as to supply Tropu, your next target, with an army that is neither man nor monster to help him assail Sundragon. Tropu's motivations are currently unknown, as are their exact means, but you do know that you have a big-ass airship to deal with, and from the sounds of it, an army beneath it. As you all settle in for sleep, Lucian reading through your book excitedly, you do gain proficiency at last in alchemical tools. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Level up.
Yes,
Level up.
you all level up.
Yay!
Yeah.
Alright.
But
Yay.
before we start going over level ups and whatnot, let me go ahead and do the thing, TM. Sorry, I had to get it pulled up. If you want to see more of my DMing, check out twitch.tv/Grahamcrackers, GRAMECRACKERZ, for my Friday campaign, The Goldshine Investigations, at 7 o'clock Central Daylight Time, featuring a party of investigators trying to unravel the cultish conspiracy that threatens to plunge their homeland into war. Check out our website at officiald5hub.info. Down for maintenance at the moment, but soon to be resurrected from the grave like a filthy necromancer who just can't fucking stand Gil's family. Check out our link in chat to join our official D5 Discord server if you want to hang out with us directly, and support our episodes posted on Apple Podcasts, Pandora, Google Podcasts, the iHeart Podcast Network, wherever you happen to get them from. For our audio listeners, catch us live on Tuesdays at 9:30 Central Daylight Time on twitch.tv/Odd Tornado Productions, as well as the Odd Tornado Productions YouTube channel, where you can find anything that you missed. Check out Odd Tornado Productions Official on Tumblr to find links to our other works, including our Human Rogues Twitch channel at /Killer5. That is 5 with a PH. And if you enjoy what we do, please support us on Patreon. That link's about to be posted as well. Or on Ko-fi at kofi.com/Odd Tornado Productions. And follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/TornadoOdd. TNO are in fact capitalized. And if you want to see more of this party, plus or minus a few, tune in Monday at 9:30 Central Daylight Time on the same channels to catch our Monday streamed game, Under Locks and Keys, featuring a party of globe-trotting treasure hunters trying to assemble the artifacts of the gods in order to open a door that either hides a great valuable treasure or a terrible apocalyptic curse. The party is very close now to gaining the third of the 8 keys they need. the forge cast pistol assembled by the Atlanteans for their god Vulcan. That's about it from me. So, thanks everyone at the table so much for playing. Thanks everyone at home so much for watching. And we'll see you all next week.